welcome back to Sleepy Time Painting. We'll be completing our previous projects and there'll be some glamour shots at the end. With no further ado, sweet dreams.
And we're back. Here we go. We've done the top half. Let's get to work on the bottom half. Now we're going to get a bigger brush here. I need my palette. It's going to be lighter on the bottom. I'm going to get some colours. Where's my trusty deck tan from Model Colour? I'm just going to shake that out. Get some deck tan there. I'm going to get to work on this guy. Water. Finny paints, kids. Let's get to work. Is this crevice here? Just putting on a base coat here of the deck tan. We're going to come across again in just a moment. Frill, as a painter enters his flow state, says nothing to his audience. I don't know what you're thinking about right now, but I hope you're already slipping away into a nice deep sleep. Or you're learning something about painting. You could just be enjoying listening to me. I can't imagine anyone out there's actually enjoying listening to me and all my witterings, but hey, if you are, thanks for tuning in and listening to me. Just working our way through this model at the moment. Just gonna start work on his leg now. Is it a hoof? Is it a paw? Who knows? Tell you who doesn't know. Me. But that's alright. As long as it looks good when we're finished. That's what matters. spots here. It's got a thin coat, so some of the colour underneath will be coming through. That's right. So then the final run through. That is A-okay. Here's a question. How do I get to that leg? Well, I think I'd just pop it off. There we go. Down the flank now. Onto the starting on one of the rear legs. Let's pop him back on here. Give me a bit more stability. When I get on with painting, we can always pop him off again. That's when we use the poster putty. Close to finishing this side. I need to pop him off again. But that's no big hardship, is it? It's actually pretty good. If you imagine if this was stuck on his base, I would not be able to do this quite so easily. That's belly rubs. Right. Working down his tail now. Let's pop them off again. Let's see if we can get a bit better access under here. Let's see if we can get it a little bit tight in here, but we'll try our best. That's all you can do. Just try your best. If you're painting at home watching this, then I give you full permission to try your best. And if it's not as good as you hope, then that's fine. You tried your best. That's all anyone can ever ask of you. We're almost done here, aren't we? Now, a lesson I learnt was you only need to paint the bits that anyone's going to see. And this is great advice. I'd paint the back of bolt guns, the underneath of cloaks. Spend ages painting bits, and then when it's on its base, nobody sees it. So, save your time. That's what I say. I think looks pretty good. I think we'll take a little break there, let this dry, and we'll come back and we'll work on the next bit. And we're back. Here we go, this guy. For the little bits I missed here. It's looking pretty good. Right. Let's highlight. Now I've got a it's another Vallejo ivory. Stuck on here and get to work. So I'm not going to do quite so many. Leave the creases a bit darker than they did last time. Remember kids, thin your paints down. Doing this leg here. Quite a few like sort of muscular striations here on this leg. I'm trying to sort of highlight, but again, being quite bold with my strokes. It hasn't got to be perfect. We're not looking for this isn't a John William Waterhouse pre-Raphaelite extravaganza here. It's just a bullet. It's just a model. How many times am I going to play with him? In fact, I'll let you in a secret. You probably spend more time painting your model than I spend being played with on the table. There's a few you'll use all the time and you get a load of fun with them, and others you will paint and potentially never even use. I know I'm guilty of that. Painting things just to go in the box because you might need it one day. I may have thinned that a bit too much. Let's see how we get on. Just coming down the legs at the moment. There's the back leg. Get little claws. Got to get the middle claws out. There's like striations here, segmentations on his tail. Got to get the major muscle groups in his tail. Let's work on here now. Starting to get the front leg. What did I say about worrying about painting things that no one's going to see? Well, I'm trying to get in that little crevice there. But, yeah. Just working on this jawline. Yeah, just keep going. Some striations for this tail even. This was a strail. I know what a strail is, but I know what a tail is. There we go. Let's pick these little sections out. Looking good, Mr. Bullet, if I do say so myself. Yep, quite pleased how that's turned out. And one last colour. I'm going to use this as off-white. I try to avoid pure white if I can. It's just a bit too much. Just going for like absolute highest parts now. So I've not really talked very much for a minute. I was just really focusing on all these little highlights on this guy. Trying to just be quite organic with the little highlights. Trying to look like it's a real thing. And maybe in beetles and things, even then you don't get perfectly straight lines. Right? So we have wasps have stripes and zebras have stripes, but they are not perfectly straight. So not many. Thin the striations on this tail now. There we go. I think we're good. I'm actually gonna just bravely, oh my God. tense moment. Perfect. Just going to do a little edge highlighting here. This white. Might be a bit heavy there. Be. Always just rub it out. There we go. I think we can call them done, guys. You could give it all a wash if you wanted to, but I don't think I'm looking to do much time on this one. Yep, he's turned out pretty good, I think. So there we go. That's another one to go with the carrot. Here we go. We've got a couple of slug men here now ready to go. I could have undergone this one a lot better. A standing slug man, and of course his good friend sitting slugman, and I'm just going to glue them onto I've got some wooden bases here, and we're going to glue them on to the bottom there. So we need some super glue. I just think it's going to make it a lot easier to paint them if we just actually glue them onto a base, because they are very fiddly. Sitting one done. Let's get standing one done. Just a bit of the old Gorilla super glue. I like a thicker super glue because it doesn't run everywhere. There we go. I do feel a bit like Tommy Lee Jones in No Country for Old Men, chatting with you guys. Some old fella talking nonsense. I'm just looking at these slug men. I've realised just how naked they are. This guy, he's just got a little belt and a spear. You know, he's confident. He's confident in himself, and this guy's got a loincloth. Obviously, he's a bit not quite as body confident as sitting slug, and that's fine. That's fine. A little more modest. We are going to use some contrast paints today, and I've been thinking about what colour would a slug be, and there's a type of slug called a banana slug that is bright yellow. So I have got myself some Imperial Fist Yellow, and we are going to paint that. Oh, that sounds like that plane's about to land right on top of my house, which would be inconvenient. I find actually I prefer the contrast paints to the dropper, like speed paints, because you actually get a little dimple at the top of the pot to scoop out and paint your guys with. Now, for some, you just dip it onto your palette. There we go, nice and yellow. A big yellow slug. Oh, gruesome. This shouldn't take very long at all, I don't think. That's the great thing about contrast paints, is they don't take very long to do. Oh, he's got a couple of little wrist bracelets on. There's me complaining that he's naked. He's actually just a very confident slug. He's got a couple of bracelets on. Maybe in the world of slugs, it's naked wrists that seem as rather shocking. Man, this is a conversation I never thought I'd have. Anyway, let's get little hands. Want to get his legs done. I'm not too worried if I go over with the contrast, because it's yellow and it's perhaps one of the easiest colours in the world to paint over. It's got something to do with science and wavelengths. Just across the bottom of his belt there. There we go. I might change him from sitting slug to body positive slug. There we go. And he is a yellow slug. It's that easy. Again, these guys I am not looking to win any painting competitions with, so if they're not quite as good as I like, that is a-okay. Well, this slug has 4 eyes. There we go. It's not going to take very long to get these guys painted, but it takes as long as you need to paint your models, really. I know people will take a year to do one guy, but man, that one guy looks great. When I'm painting my models, I am definitely doing it to get them on the tabletop. So there's good, and then there's good enough. And I'm definitely of the good enough school of painting. And I like to think I get a little bit better with each model I paint. make a mistake here or there. But mistakes are okay, because that is how we learn. You learn more from one mistake than 100 successes, someone said. And someone might have been me just now. I think we can safely say that that's true. Oh, another plane. Maybe they're coming in from Estonia today. Who knows? Not I. Right, let's check. I've got all the yellow bits yellow. His yellow. Make sure his eyes are nice and yellow. And his arm. I think we've got all the yellow bits yellow. Maybe it's a little bit in there. Except this is yellow, so there you go, bright yellow slugs. We are on our way. We can let that dry a bit. I know I've been going to try something out. Maybe now's the time to give it a go. So this is a yellow contrast. As you can see, I've got all my paints sorted, ready to go. There we go. That's drag yellow. Always makes you paints, kids. And I'm just going to try do a bit of shading and see if that helps at all. Oh, he's still a bit wet, isn't he? Or maybe that's the... I'm just going to try putting a little bit of the contrast in here. Just see if I can just do a little bit of shading, kind of like a wet blend with contrast paints, and we'll see how that turns out. How's that looking? Well, the good news is if this doesn't work out, it's fine, because these are just some slug men. And we'll see how that turns out. So I'm just trying to just put a few little lines of Nasdrag on there. Oh. Still very wet there, okay. I'm not sure this worked, but we tried it out. Ooh. It's something I've been meaning to try out to see if it works or not. For a while. Maybe the Nasdrag yellow was too dark a yellow. I'm suspecting that's the case. But maybe once we've done the whole thing, it might look a little bit better. it's an effect. That much is true. Was it the effect we're looking for? I'm not sure. But I've definitely done something. There we go. Yep. I will see if I've got another yellow in here. Thrill as I chuck paints around off camera. Oh, here's another yellow. This is Zealot yellow. I'm gonna give his buddy a test out. Doing the same thing. I'm gonna try Zealot yellow. Why? Because these models don't really matter. Right. This looks like it needs a really good shake because maybe that just is how it looks. Let's find out. Maybe. Let's give it a go. Oopsie. I mean, it looks suitably weird and disgusting, and that is what we're looking for with Slugman, I think, right? There we go. Oh, we'll let them dry for a bit, shall we? I'll potentially go for a red, I think. I think I'll just keep the the weapon's nice and simple. Maybe a red or a metallic would be good. This guy looks mostly dry. Let's give him a go. That work on body positive slug here. I'm not worrying too much. I could have done a darker colour on him and then highlight it up a little bit. I think of this guy. I'm going to keep it nice and simple. Somehow we're going to get that like that and like that. Here we go. I just need a little bit of red on his wristband here. There we go. These guys just paint themselves. This has got a little slightly bit more cloth on him, so I need a darker red. It was in the other tray, just sat there waiting for me. So I'm gonna go for this is black red. Perfect. A bit more thinning of the paints, all in order. Let's thin those paints. Just doing his little belt. I know with snails, I'm not sure it's true for all mollusks, land dwelling or other, that during lovemaking they will fire a spear made of calcium into their partner. I'm not sure if that's the case with slugs, but I guess that's something to look forward to, or look that up afterwards. I think slugs are quite cute, except when they eat my good friend Iona's vegetables on their allotment, in which case we say boo to slugs. We don't want them dead, we just want them to go somewhere else. They provide an important food source for lots of animals, so we keep the slugs, because they're all part of a beautiful food chain, right? This one hasn't really dried, by the way. You can see up here it's not really dried, but hey, I'm just getting these guys done. There's no wristbands. Just has this beautiful, beautiful loincloth. Now with a little slug bandolier. No slug would leave home without, obviously. Almost done here. There we go. Just have a look around to see, are there any bits I've missed here? Always good to have a little check. Because inevitably you will see bits later on that you have missed. And this disgusting bro is looking pretty good. Right. Let's do a little bit of blending, shall we? Planes are busy today. Again, these are not my golden demon entry. So, just trying to pick out some bits, give a bit of life to this guy. If we're missing a few details, looks a bit grubby, or doesn't work out quite how we want, that's fine. It's just a one-off little guy that I'm painting just for fun. I'm having fun. Oop, got a bit of red in his leg. Oh no, what will I do? Apart from just leave it, it's fine. just like speckling on the red just to get like a little bit of a highlight effect here. I'm not worried about trying to get every single little detail in this guy because it's like he's just not. Sorry, Slug Man, you're just not that important. There we go. What colours shall we do his weapon? I think blue steel. Blue should work with the red and the yellow. 3 primary colours. Bluey steel should be perfect for this spear. Let's find out if colour theory is right. Here we go. Body positive slug first. Again, I'm just keep it nice and simple. The bullet, I put a lot more work into the bullet because I liked it more. Although these guys are little cuties. And now we can work up his spear. There we go. And I could do his spear tip in a fancy colour. I do like an exciting kind of electric blue or something fancy on it, some sort of weapon glow. Get out my fluoro paints, and I've decided, no, that is going to be just fine for these slug guys. And on to loincloth slug. Ah! Sorry everyone, hope it didn't wake you up. I've been told before that I put way too much paint out on my palette, but you know what? I never run out of paint midway, so these bottles of paint last years, and I put way too much out. In fact, I think drying out's more of a problem than running out with these paints. There's a few of my favourites that do run out a bit. There we go. Good. There he is. Let's give them a... Just going to let them dry for a bit. I'll come back. And we're back. Let's have a look at these little guys. I think we should give them some eyes. So I'm going to need some black paint for that, I think. Give them little black eyes on the end of their stalks. That'd be cute. There we go. Adorable. And this fella too. Isn't he cute? Nice. So I'm just going to do a little bit of silver, I think, on the end of their weapons to make them a little bit more interesting. I need the right kind of paintbrush for this. You're a bit big, my friend. Let's use this one. It's not perfect, but I get most of the paint off because we're going to dry brush. Again, I don't know why I use the back of my hand for this, but I'm sure people will let me know how wrong that is. There we go. Oh, look at that. Perfect. That looks a lot more dangerous now to me. There we go. And on this guy. There we go. We have two guys here with looking fine. Not looking fine. I think we can make them look a little bit more slug-like with a little bit of gloss varnish. There we go. Oh dear, I don't know how much gloss varnish I've got left. Oh, good. Enough. So let's gloss these guys up. I don't know about you, but slugs are shiny and wet from all their slug mucus. There we go. Just doing the leg here. And leg number 2. This slug is a slippery customer. There we go. Could use a gloss varnish spray for this, but I'd have to go and pick out the bits that want to be matte. There we go. Ooh. Now for body positive slug over here. Make it nice and goopy looking. Man, so goopy. That's one goopy looking slug, sorry. That's sluggist. So that's them painted. Last thing to do is to get all the bases done, all the miniatures. Let's go. And we're back. Here's our old friend the bullet. We've got the slug guys here. They're drying a little bit. And we've got the carrot. Yes. I was tempted to give this guy a go over with a dry varnish to make him look a bit dry. But I think he's just fine as he is. He's fine as he is. And I thought about giving this guy a shiny shell. Again, I think we're good as we are. So once you've got your model completed, you can base it, put it onto a base. And I have a base I made from, this was picked up at Salute. Put some tufts on and stuff, and it was good fun making it. I forget, Green Stuff World, was it? Had this, and I think it's perfect for a bullet. I'm gonna put my bullet on that. I wasn't sure what I was going to use as a base for, but I think my bullet would go on it pretty well. Don't you? I think pretty good. The question is, do I want tufts to the front or tufts to the back? I think tufts under it in the middle there, pretty good. Oh, that looks really good, I think. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm gonna need some super glue. And I'm just gonna put some on. I say his paws, his legs, his claws. I think this one, well, I guess we'll find out. And I'm thinking, will all four of his feet touch the floor? We will find out in just a second. Go Gorilla Glue again. And up there. Push it down. So it's going to be something like that. And I am just going to put this down over here to dry. Boom, done. This guy, I think this guy is, I could put him on a base. I don't really think it's going to add, that's too small, anything to the model. So I think it's just fine to leave as it is. The chair almost works as a base in itself, doesn't it? I mean, it doesn't mean, if it's part of a set, a piece of terrain maybe, it could be good to integrate it more, but I think the chair itself really does all the work of it. So I'm not going to bother basing him. But that was exciting, wasn't it? Let's have a look at these guys. Are they dry is the question we're all asking ourselves. There's no point me sprinkling flock. Oh, I should explain what flock is, shouldn't I? So this is a material, it's a little mix I made. Other mixes are available elsewhere. But this is bits of dust and dirt and some clump foliage in there. I have made this giant box of flock. Oh, look at that, that's fun. For using on my models. So I'll probably use this on them. Concern is it still going to be wet? Well, I'm going to have a drink of my coffee. Here it is, coffee cup. And we're going to use this kraut tack from Kraut Cover Scenics. Because it's pretty good stuff. But any kind of PVA will do, but this stuff, if I remember rightly, kind of stays, it dries, but it also stays a bit tacky. So, just that. So what I'm going to do, I should have done this earlier, is I'm just going to paint the wood a colour. And you're like, why am I doing that, Andy? Well, sometimes the flock doesn't give the best coverage in the world. So I'm going to use some of this brown, medium brown. Some medium brown on there. I'm going to grab a little bit of Orpstone green. Get that there. A big blob of that, mix it together. Make a kind of a greeny brown. Or in this case, brown. And I'm just going to put some on the base. You're going to need my painting handle for this. I'm just going to do a bit of this, just so if in a future day the flock wears off, or you know it's a bit transparent in places, then you're like, yeah, that's fine. Got the green and brown paint underneath. We'll stop the wood just showing through. This is just good practice to do that on these guys. I mean, you could field that there. Whoop! You could field that there. You'll be just fine. This is a game of Dungeons and Dragons, and you want to have some slugmen, and you know, I've got to get these done, I've got to get that guy done. How am I going to get them all done in time? A good way you could save a few minutes is not bothering to flock their bases. Or if you just haven't got the materials, you can paint it and go like, right, when I get a chance in the future to buy the stuff I need to be able to flock my models, I will definitely get some. But till then, I'll paint them a greeny brown. Greeny brown. There we go. I got a bit on his shaft there, so we are going to grab a dollop of this paint. See, this is why it's always good to use way too much paint on your palette, because you can come back and just go bloop on there. Cover up your mistake. These are slug dudes, so I'm not too worried if it all looks a bit messy. Because they're slug dudes. Obviously, when this is all done, and these are all finished, I'm going to do some glamour shots for you at the end. You can let me know in the comments which one was your favourite, if you learned anything, if you think I need professional help. That kind of stuff. That would be great. And we're just going to give that a few minutes to dry. And we're back. Here we go. Let's have a look at these guys. Let's get some of this flock on their bottoms. So we're going to get some of this sticky grout tack PVA stuff on the bottom here. Just be generous with it. We're not looking to make it last, we just want to get a good amount on so that the flock will actually stick to the base. That's our plan. So I'm putting a way thicker amount than you would like. If it was paint, you would never put paint on this thick on your base. Please, for the love of God. Unless there's some new technique that Vince Vitrella is advocating, in which case I've spoken out of turn. But I think just nice and thick for the basing and 2 thin coats, as Duncan will always tell you, for your paints. Here we go. There we go. Just dusting off the inside there, this brush. one done. We are so close to being completed, people. And then we can do some group shots of all the fun together. Just got the body positive slug here to get done. Maybe not that big blob, it's a bit blobby. It's a technical term. It's already drying up. Right. Brush a little clean. I think we are going to be good to... Yeah, this is a really horrible old manky brush, by the way, that I'm using for my PVA. Let's not use our good brushes for the PVA. That's my tip for you right there. And a little tap. And this body positive slug. I'm just gonna, again, use this brush just to move any bits of flock off, bits I don't want to be on. I think we're good. Here we go. Body positive slug, it's finished. And with that, I'll put the lid on this flock here. Don't want it to spill everywhere. These guys are done. I'm going to take some glamour shots now so you can see them all finished. There's the bullet. Captain Carrot, the criminal, there he is. And the slug boys, looking deliciously, grotesquely slippery. There we go. Oh, and there's some people flying in to have a good look at them. Right, I'm just going to get a few pictures of these at the end here for you to have a look at. And if you're not asleep, put this on again. If you are asleep, I hope you're having some sweet dreams. But thanks for joining me for Sleepy Time Painting. And with no further ado, let's see those glamour shots. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe.